Another thing that we should talk about is when something can be limited. They have lack of realism. So basically, a lot of things they do their treatments on animals, and then they try to say that this is safe for humans. And sometimes that's not the case. A lot of times it is, though. If you treat something on animals and they break out in hives, odds are the humans probably would too. But some things that don't affect animals may still affect our sensitive skin. And a lot of people think that that's not humane to do so. And I remember Gillette publishing a study or something that they had, they tested on animals, and I just stopped buying Gillette products because I just didn't think, I thought there must be another way. Why are there other places that don't have to test on animals? They figure out a different way. And meanwhile, they don't have people go in and get hives from the products either. So they found some other way to do it. So we need to make sure that we keep it real as far as the treatment on animals affecting the humans. They had a good one in the book about the center tail light or the center brake light. I didn't know that that was a law, that they had to add that brake light to people's cars. Any cars that were made from 1986 on should have the center brake light. And it had a big effect in the beginning, and now it doesn't have that big of an effect anymore, and it's because people are used to it. So there's this effect where it was initially was a higher response, but after a while it's kind of something where we just take for granted. And now people still crash into people, apparently. So in order to get something that is caused by another one, or causation, that means if you take this blood pressure pill, it will lower your blood pressure. Okay? In order to be able to say something like that, there must have been a study where it came out statistically significant. Okay? And you can tell something like that by an experiment. With statistically significant results. The people who took that blood pressure pill, probably a majority received or were tested with lower blood pressure without doing anything else. It must have happened that way. So you can do causation. You can say it's caused by it. Sometimes you can't do an experiment, but you still can say that it's caused. And you need more than just a strong association. It needs to be consistent. Maybe it's a study that takes many years to do, with many different people being tested in many different areas. So something that, an effect in time. Something that you are testing over 30 years. And larger values of the explanatory variable are associated with stronger responses. And the thing is these are for when you can't do an experiment. Like, you can't say, here, smoke these cigarettes, and let's measure you in 30 years and see if you got lung cancer. You can't do something like that. You can't do an experiment with that. You can observe smokers, but they're people who are already smokers. It's not random. And you can observe them over time, but then it's not an experiment. It's observational, and we know those are not very reliable. So observing people with lung cancer. What other things? Doing something illegal, like texting while driving. You can't ask people to do something like that and see whether they get in a lot of accidents. So you have to do an observational, or you might have to do a survey and try to come up with feelings about how do they feel when they text and drive? Do they feel they have control? Things like that. And it's got to be something that seems plausible. It's got to make sense. So there's also a section on data ethics that you can look up, and it's basically about, how you will have people do a study, but you have to be careful about assigning things to people that will cause them harm.